Today I am flying Pegasus, Turkey's largest budget carrier. The journey will take us from Istanbul-Sabiha Gökcen to Brussels-South Charleroi. And while this airline is truly low cost, from the strictest baggage policy in the air to the least amount of legroom I've ever seen, Pegasus takes cost cutting very seriously. They do, however, offer incredibly low fares and a highly extensive network. So is Pegasus any good? Well, that's what I'm here to find out. Good morning and welcome to Istanbul, more specifically Sabiha Gökcen Airport on the Asian side of the city. I am already airside because I just flew in on a different carrier. My flight today is PC923, departing SAW at 11:55 AM and arriving in Belgium 3 hours and 40 minutes later. Transit security took about 20 minutes and we are now in the departure zone. I covered this airport quite extensively in my Air Arabia review, so I'll keep this section brief. Here is a summary of my notes on Sabiha Gökcen. First, it is ram-packed full at all times and getting a seat is almost impossible. Secondly, prices are quite exorbitant, but not as bad as Istanbul Airport. And then we have the annoying fact that they only give you 1 hour of free Wi-Fi. I am tired of mentioning this, but it becomes more ridiculous every year. On the plus side, the airport is relatively well organized, and even though it operates way beyond capacity, I've never faced any delays here. Now, let's talk a bit about the airline we're flying today. Pegasus was founded in 1991 and it was originally a charter airline owned by 2 Turkish companies and the Irish flag carrier Aer Lingus. The company became fully Turkish in 1994 and expanded rapidly in the early 2000s. Nowadays, the airline has a fleet of 117 aircraft, mostly Airbus A320s and A321s. They fly to over 140 destinations in 53 countries. As such, Pegasus is Turkey's most successful low-cost airline, and with over 100 planes on order, they are growing ambitiously. The airline's primary base is this particular airport, and they only use Istanbul's bigger airport, IST, for a select number of flights. So if you fly Pegasus, you are very likely to end up here at Sabiha Gökcen. Like many budget carriers, their reputation is rather mixed. And that might have something to do with their incredibly strict baggage policy. If you don't pay extra, you get one personal item that cannot weigh more than 3 kilos. I have never come across an airline that allows only 3 kilos. Let me know if you guys have. As such, almost every passenger will pay for cabin baggage, which is what I had done. If you buy the cheapest carry-on option, you get a larger cabin bag and an additional 8 kilos, totaling 11. It wasn't too expensive, but as I'll explain later, the extra fees on Pegasus can add up rather quickly. Anyhow, we started boarding around 45 minutes before departure and the process was very efficient. Now, on this particular flight, they didn't weigh or measure anyone's bags. I guess the 3 kilos are just such a big deterrent that everyone simply pays extra. Our plane was parked at a remote stand, so first we had to get there by bus. Before we get on board, let me quickly mention today's video partner, Safety Wing. I am on the road for most of the year, often switching countries on a weekly basis, and that is why I need reliable and affordable travel insurance. enter Safety Wing. They have 2 flexible Nomad insurance plans that work whether you're traveling for a couple of weeks or an entire year. Their Essential plan offers emergency medical coverage as well as various options that you might need depending on your travel style, such as adventure sports and electronics theft. Their Complete plan, on the other hand, is a fully fledged medical insurance covering everything from mental health issues to screenings and vaccines. It even takes care of potential maternity fees. I personally use the Essential plan, which covers general travel risks like delays, cancellations, and unforeseen hospital stays. It allows me to travel long-term without worrying about events outside of my control. And that peace of mind is simply priceless. Use the link in the description to sign up for a free account, no strings attached, and once you're ready for your next adventure, choose the insurance plan that works best for you. A massive thanks to Safety Wing for the partnership, and now let's get back to Pegasus. My ride to Brussels is a 9-year-old Airbus A320 Neo. This plane has 186 seats in a 3+3 all-economy configuration. I am sitting in Dori Foxtrot today, a window seat in the back of the plane. And while the legroom is abysmal, I am 172 centimeters tall and I can barely fit 2 fingers between my knee and the seat in front of me. As a comparison, I can fit an entire hand on both Ryanair and Wizz Air. So yeah, Pegasus gets the unfortunate title of least amount of legroom I've ever seen. Keep in mind that I am not the tallest person in the world. If you are over 1.80 meters, you will have 0 space here, so better get an extra legroom seat. Anyhow, the seats themselves aren't that good either. They are in fact hard like a rock and there is very little padding, but that is the case on many budget airlines. There is a small tray table and an in-flight menu, but no seat back pocket. Unsurprisingly, the seat doesn't recline and there are no USB ports. So yeah, a very mediocre product even by low-cost standards, but the cabin was spotlessly clean. Thanks to the smooth boarding process, we were soon taxiing out to the runway.
2 yaşından küçük çocuklar için kabin ekibi tarafından bebek kemeri verilmektedir. Kabinde basınç kaybı olursa başınızın üzerindeki kapaklar açılacak ve oksijen maskeleri ortaya çıkacaktır. Böyle bir durumda en yakın maskeyi kendinize doğru çekin, ağız ve burnunuzu içine alacak şekilde yüzünüze yerleştirin.
Our aircraft has 8 exits, 2 in the forward area, 4 over the wings, 2 at the rear.
We departed 5 minutes early at 11:50 a.m. Pegasus offers a wide range of snacks, hot meals and beverages, including alcohol, but prices are very high, more than what you would pay on European budget carriers. There are, however, 2 ways to save money here. First, it is cheaper if you pay by card on board. I am quite fond of this idea because the fewer people pay cash, the faster the service. And finally, meals are quite a bit cheaper if you pre-order, which is what I had done. As such, I got this rather delicious chicken sandwich for €7.20. It was €9 on board. The loo was clean and the cabin crew were super friendly and efficient. Overall, the service on Pegasus was top-notch. Better still, the flight was only about 80% full and I had an entire row to myself. I do have to mention one final money grab though, the IFE. Pegasus does have streaming to your own device, offering about 50 movies and TV shows, but on this particular flight you had to pay 12 euros to access it. Air Arabia, which directly competes with Pegasus on many routes, offers a better system for free. And yeah, I wasn't gonna pay those 12 euros, so I used my own IFE. Now let's answer the million-dollar question. Is Pegasus actually good? Well, kind of. Yes, they charge the hell out of you for add-ons, but they do have very low base fares and they dominate the low-cost market on quite a sizable number of routes. If you're flying from Europe to Turkey, the Middle East, the Caucasus or Central Asia, Pegasus will almost always be the cheapest option. So yeah, Pegasus might be as low cost as it gets, but it can be quite an attractive solution depending on your final destination. And that makes them kind of good, I guess. We landed in Charleroi at 1:20 p.m, 15 minutes ahead of schedule. I paid around 96 euros for this flight, out of which 36 were add-ons. Food and seat reservation are quite expensive, but 17 for a cabin bag is pretty reasonable. Checked luggage would have cost another 35. By and large, this was a fantastic deal because even with the add-ons, it was still 55 euros cheaper than Turkish Airlines on the same route. And it was a rather pleasant flight with excellent punctuality. So 6.5 out of 10. Now, I would love to know, have you flown Pegasus before? And if so, what was your experience? Please share your opinion down below. Thanks very much for watching and see you in the next one. Goodbye.